Hello, I hope you all are doing well, and I'm so excited to come here today and finally do what I've always wanted to do. A number one request that I get at work that, people stop me for, and, just in general, just every day. The number one thing that people want to learn how to do is their brows. So let's get started. So here we have, my brows, which I just have a very thin brow. I would like to go over what you need to create the perfect brow look. Popular way of wearing your brows, which is the microbladed look. You can either use the Morphe pencil, which retails for like $9 or $10. If it's on sale, you can get it for like $6 or $7. Amazing pencil, it's really good, it lasts, great pencil. Also, I work for MAC, so of course I have to, say what I normally use, which is my MAC pencil in the shade Stud. I just take the end of my Morphe pencil and we're just going to comb over the brows, right? I forgot to say this. You also need a brow pen. This is for you to make fake hair strokes, which gives you the microblading look. And again, let me say this. It is extremely important to maintenance your brows because it is then a lot easier to be able to fill in your brows, because as you see, I already have, basically a sculpt, something to go by, because my brows already have a shape. When you have hair outside here and everywhere up here and you don't get them waxed or threaded, it makes it a lot harder to give you that microblading look and give you a defined brow, because then you're drawing and putting concealer on top of hair, right? So let's get started. What I like to do is and I'll even show y'all, is I like to come right underneath, right? And I'm following the hair, right? Underneath, right here. When you are holding your pencil, I want you to act as if this is a pencil and I am about to write on paper. I do not want to see holding like this, holding like that, holding like that. It's not you have so much more control. If you have to literally act like you're writing on a sheet of paper, please do. So you want to take your pencil, right? This finger always should go here, right? Right here. I'm even going to extend my line out just a little bit past the hair, right? I am then gonna go from the top and give that a little bit more of a defined line. So boom. You see how easy, quick, how that went, because again, the eyebrow is already waxed, the hair is already maintenance, the hair is brushed down. It makes it so much easier to do this, right? So we have a beautiful natural brow, and I will take the pencil just a little bit and just fill it in just a little bit. And guys, when you're drawing on top of your brow, you see how I'm not doing this? I'm not stroking. I want you to treat this like when you were a kid and you used to color, like a coloring book, right? And this is what you're doing to your brow initially. You are outlining your brow, right? So that's why when I start to draw on top, I don't stroke, I am drawing on top of the hair. It's when you're drawing, don't go up here because there's no hair up there. You draw against the hair because remember, you are trying to give the brow a more fuller look, a more outline defined look, right? And don't worry about trying to make it perfect, because we are going to use a little bit of concealer just to make it extremely sharp. So we're gonna fill it in, right? Now, my next step, we have this area where it's gapped, and I left a little bit of the space where the hair starts, because this is where we're gonna begin to make it look like a microbladed brow, right? So we're gonna take our brow pen. This is in the shade Ebony. Oh, I usually use the shade Ebony. When I went to Ulta, they did not have the color, so excuse me. This is actually dark brown, okay? These retail for about $26. After tax, about $30, but they last and they're great. So again, like a pen, if you have to put your hand like you're writing, do so that you can get your hand. Your index finger should be here at the tip. And what we're doing is we're drawing straight up. And I'm even gonna take it in the hair just a little bit. Now guys, remember when I said I normally buy Ebony? This dark brown is a little on the light side, so I probably would have preferred to just use Ebony, but it's fine. It's a pretty shade of brown. It's a little warmer than what I would typically go for. I tend to really want to match my hair color. If you're a person that likes lighter brown, you can go with dark brown, or you can go and for the pencil, you could do spiked for your eyebrow pencil. Or you can do, and in Morphe, they have one that's a little bit lighter than chocolate mousse. I forgot the name, but you could look it up. It's the one right before chocolate mousse. Again, if you like a little bit of a lighter, more warm tone kind of brow, dark brown is for you. For me, I feel like I wish I would have got Ebony. Unfortunately, they did not have Ebony, so I just had to go with dark brown. It doesn't look bad, it looks good. So I'm not totally dissatisfied, but it is a little bit more red brown. But your girl's gonna make it work, right? So we just take the small strokes, and this is what we have. You know, this is just brow, fill, and this is my natural brow. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and fill in the other side. Again, pen and paper, again. You see, we're gonna brush the hair, and we're going to go from underneath. And sometimes if you have to take your face and literally express it like this, this is what you wanna do. Like this, like the surprised eyes. Right? Do the surprised eyes, surprised eyes. And we're gonna go ahead and start that other. Again, we're underneath. Sometimes you could do this to kind of help you measure, so you have a guide. And guys, you know, doing eyebrows is not, it's taken me years to master this, and I still feel like I haven't mastered it all the way. But the most important piece is to not rush yourself, and to understand that this is a learning process. You're not gonna be, you know, a professional tomorrow. It takes practice, and it takes you getting used to your hand motions and finding your own way. And also knowing just seeing and practicing is gonna be your best friend, right? So again, we have our brow. We lined it at the bottom, we lined it at the top, and we're shading through, right? Just a bit of shade. And again, I have my line, which is to create the fake microblading look. I'm going to take my pen, and again, I'm gonna start right here, and we're gonna push up, 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 just like that. And this is where we get our microbladed look from. Sometimes I'll take the marker and just go on the bottom. It looks like a little, you know, light. And then sometimes I'll go over here, draw a little bit more of a line to make it look more even. And then I'll do some little baby hairs. Boom. And there we are. Now, if I wanted to, I could stop at this point. But again, I am a person that likes an extremely defined brow, right? So on our next step, which you don't have to do this step, but if you really like the pop and the defined brow, you're going to take your concealer in a square brush. Square brush looks like this. It is literally a square. This is the concealer, Studio Finish Concealer Cream in NC30. Now, you can use whatever concealer you wear under your eyes, you can use on your brows. Now, depending upon if you want a big pop, if you want a little pop, that will determine your concealer color. I know some people like to look more natural. I like a bit more of a pop, but I'm teaching you the technique in which, you know, how to do it and how to accomplish a nice microbladed brow. So what we're gonna do is take the concealer that you want, depending upon if your concealer is your same skin tone or if it's a little bit lighter than your skin tone. I say as a professional that your concealer should be a little bit lighter than your foundation, 2 to 3 shades lighter. And that's just to give you a bit of dimension, right? Because if it was the same color as your foundation, then it wouldn't look any different. There would be no, it wouldn't be any dimension. So we're gonna take our concealer and we're gonna take our square brush. You can use cream concealer, you can use liquid concealer, as long as you got the correct brush and the concealer. If you have liquid concealer, what I like to do is put a pump, or if it comes in a wand, it's kind of like this concealer, you take the wand and you roll it on the back of your hand like that. And you would take your brush and you would just dab it in, okay? So what I'm gonna do, because I use cream, is we're just gonna go underneath just like that. And notice I'm not stroking, it's one solid line. As that line is sitting, as I have drawn this line, I take the edge, I never touch the brow, and I bring it down. Just like that. Just like that. So that's what it looks like. We're gonna do what we do to one side, we're gonna do to the other. Oh, I went up a little high. See how it's got a little squiggly in there? See, that's the part they don't show you on camera. Taking the brush, and I'm just gonna brush like that and make the line straight again. Take my brush, and it's fixed. You don't wanna put more product on it because you don't wanna put the concealer on the brush tip, because what'll happen is if you took the brush and lined it again, it would just get concealer and it would start putting the concealer on your brow, which is why I took the brush, just the small brush, and just combed it out the way. You know, combed the concealer out the way. So we're gonna, again, square brush, again, we're holding it like a pen. That's how you maintain control. I could not do it like this. You don't do that, you're not doing it like this. Pen. And we're gonna bring it down. Bring it all the way down. Same thing I did to the bottom, I'm gonna do to the top. And when I take this brush and put this concealer on it, I'm being generous. I'm putting quite a bit of concealer on the back of that brush. Again, I don't go all the way to the hair. I start after the hair, about right here. When I do it, I hold the brush and I go and then I'm just dragging with the shape of the hair on top, not on the hair, but on top. So that's what we have. Now I'm gonna take it, because I see a lot of people when I'm teaching them, I have to stop and say, you know, you don't wanna find yourself doing this. You don't need to tap and pull. You need to tap and pull without lifting. You're not stroking, you're outlining. See how I'm not moving? I'm just dragging the brush where I want it to go. Dragging. Okay, I need to get a little bit more product on my brush for the other side. Again, we're starting right behind the hair. That's where you want to start. You see? Dragging, just like that. And again, we don't want to rush ourselves. Please, if you are taking my classes, if I'm teaching you in person, I will always tell you, if you want to rush, then brows is not for you. Okay? So do this, practice on a day where you have time. So we're gonna take a fluffy brush, just like this. Actually, I'm not gonna use that brush. Let's see what I got. All right, so we're gonna take a fluffy brush, like this, okay? And we're going to start to blend. I take a little bit from the edge and I blend in the middle, and then I start to rub. Now guys, if you are not a person that wears foundation, then you don't want to go as light with your concealer. You want to go with the concealer that is much, much closer to your skin tone. Because what's going to happen is you're going to have the concealer where you can see it. Because like with my brows right now, you can see all this concealer. It's everywhere. But because I wear foundation and I wear a full face of makeup, I don't have to worry about this showing because my foundation is going to go over all of this. But if you're a person that doesn't wear foundation and you still want a defined brow, all you have to do is use a concealer that is almost accurate to your skin tone. You might even be able to use foundation. I wouldn't suggest foundation because foundation is not thick enough. Foundations tend to be thinner, and it's really hard to draw with foundation and get an accurate and as defined look as you could with concealer, because concealer is a lot more pigmented. But I'm gonna suggest a concealer that is extremely close to your skin tone if you do not wear foundation. If you wear foundation, you want to do your eyebrows first, so that at the end, my eyeshadow and foundation will then cover all of the brightness. Okay? So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna come back with my finished look so you can see that this is gone.